Morning. Today, in this presentation, we are going to talk about research methodology, and our topic is plagiarism. First, let's discuss the learning outcomes of the presentation. After watching this presentation, the learners will be able to correctly define plagiarism. At the same time, the learners will be able to identify the sources to be cited or documented. The learners will know if they are stealing and identify what and what not to be cited. They will also understand the gravity of plagiarism. So, let's begin with our presentation with a question. What is plagiarism? Let's take some time and think about what is plagiarism. What do we know about plagiarism? The word plagiarism has come from the Latin word plagiarius, which means kidnapper. Plagiarism is the act of presenting the words, ideas, images, sounds, or the creative expression of others as your own. Plagiarism is to steal and pass off the ideas or words of someone else as our own, and to use someone else's production without crediting or without documenting. Plagiarism can be intentional or unintentional. People may or may not be aware that they are doing plagiarism. When we copy, we cheat with ourselves. And while copying, we not only limit our learning, but we put an end to our creative faculty. We can borrow the work of others, but without giving them credit will come under plagiarism. So, let's not plagiarize, and let's start with our next topic. We have many excuses that we give because we want to plagiarize or we are doing it unintentionally. But the consequences of plagiarism are really drastic. The important consequences include failure of assignment. But do you know that identifying whether you have plagiarized in your assignment is pretty simple to find out? There are many online softwares available which can tell whether you have plagiarized in just a few seconds. Stealing intellectual property right is as serious as stealing land or property. But the question is, do I need to cite everything? No. We do not have to cite each and everything. There are a few things which can be left, like stating facts that are widely known knowledge, dealing with information or judgments that are common knowledge, and discussing one's own experiences, observations, and reactions. Still, whenever you are in doubt, you must cite or document. Now, let's move on to when to cite. When we are using an original idea from someone else, whether it is a quote or a paraphrase, we have to give it proper documentation. We cannot use someone else's idea or thought without documentation. While summarizing original ideas from a source, you have to cite that source. while using factual information which is not common knowledge, which is borrowed from something else, and while directly quoting from a source, we have to cite. Also, while using a date or fact which is not proper. Now, let's talk about avoiding plagiarism. How can we avoid plagiarism? First, we must take notes and keep them organized. We also have to give credit for paraphrasing, summary in the text and in the project. We have to cite if we are using images, web pages, journals, e-texts and blogs from any online resource. You can produce shorter or longer texts than the original ones. We can use our own words to write or describe. We must use the original author's exact words only in quotation marks and cite with proper page numbers and documentation. We also must write in author's original language and include quotes like the author says or the author stated. Now, as we come to the end of this presentation, I must say the work I have cited for this presentation. The works that I cited are here listed. Now today in this presentation, we have seen when we have to cite, when we need not cite, and what are the things we must be careful about in order to avoid plagiarism. Please, whenever developing any paper or any research work, we have to be very careful about plagiarism, because to plagiarize is pretty easy, but to remain original is of utmost importance. So, ending this presentation here only. Thank you so much for watching.